to start freestyling as more people come in. For the other people who just joined, do you have any questions or anything about law of attraction? Okay, I'm curious about my future financial situation. Okay, what are you curious about? And what sense are you curious? You're the creator of your own reality. So have you set goals for your finances? Are you affirming what it is how much you want? Are you working towards it? Are you studying the best in your field so that you can emulate their thoughts, their behaviors, their actions? So let me know where you're at. How can I draw what I desire? So it's simple. This is whether it's manifesting a large sum of money or whether it's manifesting your ideal relationship, the process is the same. So first, get clear on what it is you want. How much do you want? Do you want 100,000? Do you want 1 million? Do you want 10 million? What could you really get into the feeling state of having? That's one. So decide what it is you want. Two, get into the vibratory frequency. I know all the above, but for some people, if I tell them, if they say $1 million, it doesn't seem real to them. And so, whereas if they say 100,000, it does seem real. So, but for each person, it's an individual process as to what's real and what's not for them, as to what they can manifest. So, for instance, I had a friend, he won the lotto. He won $2 million on a scratch-off. To him, that was real. He believed that he could, and he did it. To me, that sounds like fantasy, doing it that way. And so I believe for that reason, I haven't. Now, so first, decide what you want. And then every day, put yourself into the feeling state of what it would feel like as if you had that money. So let's say it's an extra $100,000, whether it's a year or a month. What would it look like? And more importantly, what would it feel like? And by putting out that feeling tone, you start to attract to yourself people, places, situations, circumstances, and events that are in resonance with it who will bring to you what it is you want. The thing that most people do wrong is they'll say, I want to manifest, let's say $1 million. Let's say I want to manifest $1 million. And they start to feel it. And so they're putting out this feeling tone. But then a minute later, they say, yeah, but I've never manifested $1 million, or I don't have it now, or why hasn't it showed up? So they put up a counter vibration to the good energy that they just put forth. So the key is to take your awareness off this current reality and to focus it on what it is you want. And by doing that, you'll start to attract that into your life. So yeah, you asked, so I have to feel as if it is already in existence. That's exactly what it is. Life is inside out. If you're into the law of attraction, you have to feel, you're essentially feeling your way into it. What's happening is when you're thinking this new thought, I have $1 million, brain cells within your brain start vibrating. Within those brain cells are millions of electrons. And as you hold that thought, that vibration becomes strong enough and it goes and lands on people who bring you what it is you want. Oh, oops. And what if you don't know what you want? If you're not sure what you want, simply list what it is that you don't want. And then whatever the opposite of that is, that's what you do want. It's that simple. And most people know what they want. It's just they don't believe that they can have what it is they want. And so that fear or that belief is keeping them from having total clarity about what it is they want. How do I do that when life is chaotic? Set some time for yourself every day where you go and meditate, you go and relax, you take your mind off of the stressors of the day, so to speak, and you allow yourself to just breathe and relax for your manifestation, for your body to harmonize, and then from there, focus on what it is you want. Experts say release what you're trying to manifest, but then say meditate on what you want every day. So there's two schools of thought on this. So there's a Neville Goddard says, focus and feel what it is you want. And he said, once you get into the feeling tone of what it is you want, he said, it's done. Just as a woman, once she's pregnant, she doesn't have to get pregnant again. She's pregnant. And after a certain incubation period, the baby will be born. And like fashion, once you feel what it is you want, he believes that, it's pretty much done as long as you don't set up a counter vibration or counter intention to it. For me, I like to focus on it every day because one, it keeps me on track, and two, I feel as if it causes things to manifest for me faster. So that's the reason that I say every day, because life happens. Things happen that can get you off track, that can get you in different kinds of moods. So I like to focus and feel what it is I want every day. And also it keeps me motivated as I work towards what it is I want. What if as a Muslim woman, all I want is a loving family? How do I pursue that? It's super simple. So first, I would write out my ideal man and list his qualities that you want. He's loving, he's kind, he's loyal, he wants a family, you guys are together now. And then list out what type of family you'd like. You have one kid or two kids, what type of home, and really list it. Imagine you're making a wish list to God and see it and feel into it every day. And you're going to put out a vibration and you're going to attract somebody who matches up with that which you're putting forth. It's very simple. I would also cut out a picture of a family that you like, and I would just paste your face over the wife and look at that every day and tell yourself, that's me. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference, by the way, between what's real and what's false. And as you start showing it images of you having what it is you want, be it in your imagination or in this three-dimensional reality, it'll start manifesting that for you. So try it out and let me know how it goes when you meet him. By the way, my friend wanted to meet somebody, and I had her do the exact exercise I just gave you. She told me, she said she wanted to meet a strong man. Her emphasis was that he had to be strong. And so I had her make her a list of all of his qualities. She said he's got to be she said he wanted him tall, strong, deeply religious. He had to live close to her. She listed a number of qualities. He wanted a family. And we made her list and got her into the feeling tone of it. We just did it one time. We didn't do it every day for the person who was asking, do you have to do it all the time? We did it once. We got really clear on what it is she wanted. And she met a guy. He was tall, deeply religious. He was the son of a preacher. He lived right down the street from her, but all the years that they had lived right by each other, they had never met. And his last name was actually Strong. She wanted a strong man, and her last name is now Strong. So you can manifest whatever it is you want. Your job is just to get clear on what it is, and the universe will supply you with what it is you want. If you have a few things to manifest, do you choose one at a time, or can you do all together? Before I answer that, I want to go back to the person, to Uniquely Blessed. He or she spoke about how their life is chaotic. One thing I would do is find one area of your life that's peaceful or that's going well, and I would continuously focus on that. For instance, let's say your health as well. You're like, hey, I'm healthy, I'm doing well, I'm healthy, I'm well. And just focus on that as you go through your day. This is a little bit of spiritual alchemy. And as you stay in that vibration of everything going well in that area, you're feeling grateful for that one area that's going well. That energy of wellness is going to permeate throughout the other areas of your life. And those areas that were once chaotic are going to start to become more normal or more balanced as you focus on wellness taking place within you. If you have a few things to manifest, do you choose one at a time, or can you do all together? I just do all together. So I'll focus on my health. I'll spend a minute visualizing how I want to look and feel. I'll spend a minute on my finances, a minute on my relationships, and then I go on with my day. The whole process takes 5 or 10 minutes. I've had this thing about the lotto for years. I know all want to win, but I really do think I will. Thank you. You're welcome. If you think you can, it's possible. For me, it's unlikely. I don't believe in it. However, my friend who won the lotto, he would tell himself, he would wake up and he'd just tell himself, today God's going to bless me, God's going to bless me, God's going to bless me. Today's the day. So the first day he did that. Nothing happened. Second day he does that. Nothing happens. He said the third day he woke up and he felt this, like something within him that he knew. Like he said, he told himself, today's the day. He knew that it was going to happen. I think he just gave himself this idea and impressed it on his subconscious. And it reached that miracle working power of his subconscious and it brought him forth. And sure enough, he went to work, scratched a scratcher. He was a cashier at a liquor store, won $2 million, and now he's no longer a cashier. So he's doing great. So you can do it. It's just, what's your belief system? For most people, they don't believe something like that's possible. For him, he believed that it was possible and it was likely, and that's what ended up occurring for him. Good question. If anyone else has any questions, let me know. And by the way, if I could recommend one thing to you, one exercise, I would just recommend this. Keep it simple as you go through your day. Just make sure that the majority of your energy, your time, your energy is focused on what it is that you do want and not on what you don't want. Most people, as they go through their days, even as they go through their life, they speak and focus on what it is they don't want. They call their friends. They gossip about what it is that they don't like, about other people, and about life. They complain about all kinds of things. And that's just telling the universe, hey, I don't like this, but give me more of it. So they create this negative feedback loop that just is going on and on and on. If you're watching this, be a conscious creator. Talk about what it is you want, even if you don't have it. So start to write out, I am happy and successful. I am wealthy. Start to think a new thought. I don't remember who said this, but some spiritual teacher once said, I think it was Neville Goddard. He said, if you want to radically change your life, start by radically changing your thoughts. So start to affirm something new. Even if your current reality doesn't reflect that at the moment, start to think independent of your reality and watch things shift for you. Let's say you could be the sickest person in the world, but as you start to think health, talk health, act health, that'll move you along the polarity, the scale from sickness to health, and eventually you'll be healthy. But it has to start with your thought process. Yes, putting thought and energy to the positive. Exactly. It's that simple. I was listening to Esther Hicks. For those of you who don't know who she is, she's a great metaphysical teacher. Somebody asked her, they said, if you could just sum up your entire teachings, all that she's been teaching for the last 20 years. Oh, thank you. I appreciate the likes. They said, if you could sum up everything you've been teaching for the last 20 or so years, what would it be? And she said, it's simple. She said, just focus on what it is you want. So as you go through your day, just focus on what it is you want. If a thought comes up that doesn't feel well, doesn't feel good, if it causes anger or negativity within you, just move towards this positive opposite. She talks a lot, by the way, about, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? For instance, you might be justified in thinking that negative thought, but it's not serving you. So go towards happiness. Focus on what feels good, on what feels right. And as a result, you'll feel better for it. By the way, people ask me, oh, Tony, how are you so positive all the time? Or how are you so happy? I just practice that, and then it becomes a habitual way of going through the world. Her name is Esther Hicks. She speaks as like Abraham, this entity that she channels without getting too weird. But she's really, really good. I've been watching Siri Akrishana learning, so I'm happy to find you on TikTok. Oh, awesome. I don't know who that is, but feel free to send me a message and I'll look that person up. And Esther Hicks is awesome. She wrote Money and the Law of Attraction, Ask and It Is Given, and a number of other books. I highly recommend her stuff. For those of you who are looking to manifest more money, I recommend her Money and the Law of Attraction cards. What it does is, as you read the cards each day, it starts to shift your thinking, and it gradually shifts your thinking, so you start to attract and manifest more money. Thanks. I appreciate that. And as a result, your vibration shifts around money, your thoughts, your beliefs, and your energy shifts, and you start attracting more money. It doesn't have to be this dramatic thing where you force yourself. Oh, it's Esther Hicks, and the cards are called Money and the Law of Attraction cards. She's one of my favorite teachers. I'm trying to convince her to get on TikTok, but I do have the cards. Yeah, I just showed them. They work. They help me manifest a lot of money. I'm a big fan of them. So you don't have to try to force yourself to think all these new thoughts. You just gradually shift yourself until things are much, much different for you. So good question. By the way, if you don't follow me, please do. I speak about this kind of stuff pretty much every day. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you happy. I want to see you well. So I'm just changing one thing really quick, and then I'm going to get back to discussing what we're talking about. And if you have any questions, anybody, feel free to ask. I'm an open book. There's nothing that's off limits as we talk today. I'm going to speak for about 30 minutes or 30 more minutes, and then I'll let us all go on with our day. One thing that I would recommend doing is developing some type of spiritual practice. Instead of just waking up in the morning and going about your day, wake up, meditate, affirm, visualize what it is you want, even if you're not into the law of attraction. It'll improve your life. It'll improve your thinking. You'll be more motivated to go after and accomplish what it is you want. You won't be when a setback occurs, it won't affect you so much. You'll just go around it. Thank you for the flames, for the fire. And overall, you'll lead a much happier, healthier life. So I recommend doing that at night. What I do is 3 times a day. Just like you eat at least 3 times a day, I like to, in the morning, set myself up for a success with a solid foundational practice. In the afternoon, I might take a few minutes to meditate, to reset myself. And then at night, I do the same. And and what that also does is it constantly impresses your subconscious with positive images of what it is you want. Your subconscious controls things like your beliefs, your habits, and your bodily functions. And it's also where your memories reside. So you want to impress it with what it is you want so that it'll essentially put you on autopilot for success. How do you suggest opening chakras? That's not my forte, so I don't know. But I do Kundalini Yoga, excuse me. Kundalini Yoga, it's a lot of breath work, fast-paced breathing, and it builds up your energies. It'll open up your chakras, and usually when I leave a Kundalini class, I feel really good. So that's what I do. How long should you try to manifest something? When should you expect that thing to appear? I've been trying for years. If you've been trying for years and it hasn't shown up, then I would definitely shift things. Either you don't really believe it, or it might be something that's not in alignment with who you are. Something is going on. What I usually do, if I got this from one of my old teachers, I would focus on what it is I want, and then I try to see within the next 72 hours if something small comes up that's in alignment with what it is that I've been talking about. For instance, let's say I want to meet somebody, and I start visualizing me with this person that I want, and then somebody calls me and says like, oh, we're all going to, like such and such bar, you should come. Or I have this person that I think would be a good match for you, you should try it. So that I try to see if like life gives me some crumbs or cues, so to speak, that what I'm manifesting is in alignment with my highest good. So that's one. Two, if you're trying to manifest, what is it that you're trying to manifest? Give me a little bit more specificness, for lack of a better word. Let me know what you're trying to manifest, and then I'll give you some more info as to how to make it happen. And then also what I would do is I would look at somebody who's already manifested what it is I want, and then I would just emulate that person's thoughts and behaviors and actions so that I can get rapid results. For instance, when I was in sales, I used to listen to Grant Cardone all the time. He's a master salesperson. And by adopting his thought process, my sales went way up and my closing rate went way up as well. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad I could be of service to you. And manifesting should be fun. It doesn't have to be a stressful thing. It doesn't have to be something. Just be aware as passing exams, easy. Tell yourself, I'm a genius and I apply my wisdom now. I easily learn, retain, and apply anything that I learn. I easily learn, retain, and apply anything I learn. And then visualize every day your test coming back with like an A+ on it. See your scorecard for the semester as a 4.0 GPA. And then just tell yourself, it's easy and I can. So again, it's easy and I can. However hard you tell yourself something is going to be, that's how hard or easy your subconscious makes it. So just tell yourself that it's going to be easy for you to pass your exams. You're a genius. You love learning. You love the class. That the material that you learn is applicable to your life. That way you're more invested to learn it and apply it. And that you're a straight A student. I'm a straight A student. I easily pass my exams with ease. Marriage, a best-selling book, new friends that bring me joy. So for friends, grab pen and paper and write out my new friends and list how you'd like them to be, like loving, kind, uplifting, joyful, enjoyable. And then every day spend a couple minutes seeing yourself with your new friends and looking at your list and feeling as if you have them now and you've put out your vibration and you have to attract friends that match up with it. Marriage, the process is the same. My ideal husband. I'm assuming, I can't tell, depending on if you're a man or a woman. So you say my ideal husband or my ideal wife, and then you list that person's qualities, and then you focus on that, feel into it, and then you'll attract somebody who matches up with it. A best-selling book, same thing. My best-selling book, it's the #1 best-selling book. I have the best publisher. List its qualities, see it, feel into it, and you'll attract people, all that stuff that matches up with it. I've met best-selling authors, a number of them. I worked with somebody who was really shy to put out her book, and I gave her the big push, and her book actually hit #1 on the New York Times best-selling list. So you can do it. It's just about getting yourself out there, seeing it, feeling it, taking action on it, and making it a reality. But start with the image. Everything starts with an image. Everything starts with an idea. So give yourself this idea, feel it, every day for at least 30 seconds. It takes at least 30 seconds for an idea to go from your conscious mind into your subconscious. So focus on it, feel it, and then hold that energy for, when you hold it for at least 30 seconds, brain cells begin vibrating strong enough to go and have an effect on your reality, and things will shift for you. What if I have an idea of what's good for me, but the creator has a different idea of a spouse? Remember, you're attracting according to your vibration. So let's say I want a woman. I say I want a woman, a blonde-haired woman, and I'm seeing it and I'm feeling into it. I'm putting out this vibration of love and joy, of gratitude, of being with this woman. I have to attract somebody that matches up with it. Let's say she's a redhead. It doesn't matter. One, this power within me is infinitely intelligent, so I trust this power within. And two, that vibration of love and joy is attracting the right person to me. So she comes with red hair, whatever. That doesn't matter to me. It's the vibration that I'm putting forth. So just focus on that energy, and, the details will take care of themselves, so to speak. Matching feeling with the visual. Yeah, exactly. When I share my manifestations with my family members, they just think I'm crazy. Don't share them with them then. When you're manifesting, I want to talk about this, and this is a really good point. When you're manifesting things, keep them to yourself until they manifest. And if you share them with anybody, only share them with those people who are going to support you in your manifestations. When you're manifesting, you've put forth the vibration, and you don't want to share it with somebody who's going to negate that vibration that you've put forth. You don't want them to start thinking in opposition to what it is that you've been thinking, and also to share their negativity with you and cause you to lose faith in what it is that you're seeking to manifest. So keep it to yourself until it appears. It's something that I see people do all the time. When I set out on my goals, I'll only share them with a select group of individuals who I know will support me in the moving forward of that which I want, or I keep them totally to myself. For example, maybe let's say a year ago, I did a Muay Thai fight. I didn't want to hear anyone's negativity about it. About why are you doing this? It's dangerous, blah, blah, blah. Any of their stuff. I kept it to myself. I had in my mind, I actually cut out a picture of a guy, the ref raising his hand, and him celebrating his victory. And I put my face over his. And I would just see and feel into that. And I did my match and everything went great. And it was an amazing experience. And I told my friends after. My friends and my family. I didn't want anybody to put their negative stance on what I was seeking to accomplish. So in like fashion, do the same for yourself. For someone asked, like a picture from a book. Yeah, you can just go on Google and get a picture, and then you can use Paint, or I use Bazaar. It's this free program on my, I'm not a free program, excuse me, a program that I pay for, an app that I pay for on my phone. And I just cut out my face and I put it on something that I want, and that's it. And I see it every day, and I feel into it as if it's taking place now, and I manifest what it is I want. So yeah, don't share it with your family members. One of my friends on here is Praise George. It's real Praise George. I love the guy. He's awesome. And he talks all the time about how the people who could be most detrimental to your growth, to your success, are the people who are closest to you, your family members. They don't see the vision that you have. They don't know that potential that's within you. For instance, what's your name? Charlene. Let's say you want to make $10 million. They see you as like Charlene that they grew up with. And so when you tell them, oh, I'm going to earn $10 million, they're going to be like, what? Come on now, be realistic. They're doing it based on what they've seen in the past from you or from themselves. And so they don't have your vision. And so you don't want to share with them you're good. In fact, I wouldn't talk to them about any of that stuff, because their vibrations are going to affect what it is that you're seeking to accomplish. So keep that to yourself. Jesus, one of the greatest healers of all time, the only place that he couldn't do miracles was in his hometown. Why? Because they didn't see him as Jesus, the Messiah, this fantastic healer. They saw him as Ishua ben Joseph, this guy that, they grew up with, this kid that they knew. And he actually said a prophet is without honor, especially in his hometown, I believe is the phrase. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on that quote. But basically, keep that stuff to yourself. Until it manifests, keep it to yourself, or only share it with those that you know are going to support you. Or those who have done it. If you have a good mentor, I highly recommend getting a good mentor, because he or she will show you how to do it and do it fast. And their vibration of success will affect you, so you'll get rapid results by simply being around them and interacting with that person. Manifesting is feeling, energy, and emotion. Yeah, exactly. Manifesting. Well, actually, let me think about it. Manifesting, feeling, energy, and motion. Yeah, that's something that I've heard my old spiritual teacher say, or one of them. Okay, a bunch of things just came in. Let me see. Visualize, meditate, and theta state, listening to positive taste while in sleep state. I love that. So, for those of you who doesn't know what Lean Vea is talking about, a great book that you can get is the Silva Mind Control Method by Jose Silva. I think I have a copy right here. Give me just 1 second. I'll show it to you. It is the Silva Mind Control Method by Jose Silva. This is one of my all-time favorite books. If you get anything from this talk, you just get this book, you'll have gotten your money's worth today. It's free, but you'll still have gotten some value for it today. So, right now there's beta. Beta is your awake state of consciousness. And when people are stressed out, it's because their brain is cycling too high, and they go to a high state of beta, which is beta occurs at, I believe it's 10 cycles per second. I have to look it up. But basically, there's alpha, which is what takes place, the state of mind that takes place when your brain is in deep meditation and when your brain is cycling between 7 to 10 cycles per second. And it's also the time when your brain is operating at its maximum efficiency. The left and right hemispheres are communicating the best. There's theta, which takes place when you're in hypnosis or when you're sleeping at night and you're dreaming. That's when you're in theta. Now, what the Silva method teaches you how to do is it teaches you how to go from beta to alpha and to theta at will, so that you can program your affirmations at a much deeper level of mind. There's your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. And when you do affirmations every day, it's like imagine this is a nail. It's just you're hammering it through your subconscious, or the conscious and subconscious barrier, into your subconscious. When you learn to go to alpha and theta at will, it's as if you're opening up that conscious barrier, and you can just plant into your subconscious whatever it is that you want, ideas of a positive nature. So it's important to learn how to take control of your mind. And also, when you get really stressed, you go into a high state of beta. If you know the Silva method, you can just count yourself down, take a few deep breaths, and then your brain will be at a much healthier operating capacity, so to speak, and you'll feel really tranquil even in the midst of chaos around you. So I highly recommend getting that book. And Jose Silva, the founder of the Silva method, he said saying an affirmation once at alpha, not even at theta, just at alpha, is the equivalent of saying it hundreds of times at beta. So you can do a tremendous amount of positive work by learning how to go to these deeper states of mind. Let's say you don't want to do any of that. You just want somebody to do it for you. Go see a hypnotherapist. They'll take you to theta, this deep state of consciousness. I see a hypnotherapist I try to go every 2 weeks, not because anything is wrong, but because everything is right and I want to augment my good. So she puts me into a theta state. She places a number of positive affirmations into my subconscious and then brings me out, and I feel amazing. So very good points, Lean Vea. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm on vacation with my parents now. It's a downer, timely video. I also like solo travel. Oh, okay, good. If it's a downer, go do your own thing. Just tell them, hey, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go, explore the city, assuming you can, and go do your own thing for a little bit. You're not obligated to stay with them the whole entire time. And then focus on, make a list. 10 things I like about my parents, and focus on that gratitude feeling of what it is you like, and put forth that energy and let your parents shift. That's a great secret. People think that they're thinking their own thoughts and taking their own actions, but I'll explain how this exercise works. So when my father got out of prison, I was living with him at the time. I had moved to go live with him, and we were bumping heads every day. I mean, you have two guys, strong personalities, plus I hadn't seen him in 10 plus years. So every day we would be about to fight. And one day things got really bad. And I told myself, Tony, what are you doing? Stop paying attention to the physical. Work with the energy. So I grabbed a pen and paper and I wrote out 10 things I like about my dad. And I listed his qualities. He's strong. He's like physically strong and spiritually strong. He speaks his mind. He's able to earn money like nobody else. And I focus on these things that I admire about him. And that day he came home like super happy. Hey, what's up, son? How's everything? And some people will just say, oh, that's a coincidence. But ever since I did that exercise, the whole trajectory of our relationship changed. And we've gone along well ever since then. So you can do that. Shift things with the energy of of gratitude. And thank you, by the way, for the gift. And you can put in there qualities that person doesn't currently possess or that person doesn't currently express. So you can say, my parents are fun, they're easygoing, I love being around them. And you can even list out my relationship with my parents and list how you'd like it to be and see it and visualize and feel into it. And they'll shift. And if they don't shift, they'll just zig while you zag. When you're feeling good, they're not going to be around. And then when they are feeling good and they match what you're putting out, then you two will match up. You'll link up. But in the meantime, go enjoy yourself, by yourself, and then come back to them when you're in a good state. Or don't spend any more time with them on your trip. It might sound selfish, but you're here to feel joy. You being around them in a negative state doesn't do you any good and doesn't do them any good. So go and enjoy yourself while you're on vacation. I need to get a printer so I can print photos for a vision board. Yeah, or just go buy some magazines and cut them out and put them up. Whatever works easier for you. Or just tell somebody, hey, can I come over to your house and print some videos? Parents, yeah. There's that saying by Wayne Dyer, your friends are God's way of apologizing for your parents. So they're here to help you grow. At a certain point, I stopped looking at my parents as like my parents as these infallible beings that are supposed to know everything. And I just look at them as like my friends, so to speak. And so it lessens their impact on me and it makes things much easier. Okay, sweet. Thank you. You're welcome. What's the name of the app? I believe it's Bazaart is what I was talking about. If you're talking about the photo editing app. Bazaart. Totally agree. Awesome. Thanks. That's good advice. You're welcome. And if anyone else has any questions, feel free to ask because I want to help you all and I enjoy talking about this stuff. There was somebody who signed on that. Oh, it's Farah. Hi, Farah. Okay. I was like, I saw somebody sign on. I was like, whoa, she's really pretty. Let me look up who it is. And it's my homie Farah. So I'm glad to see her on here. And then what else would I like to recommend to you all while I have your attention? Let's see. And if you have any questions, ask. If not, I'll start talking about something else. Oh, here's a bunch of questions just came in. Good. So Farah knows this. When you go live, it's different. Before, as a person would write a question, it would pop up. But now they just pop up all at once. So, yeah. Okay. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Absolutely. Incredible. You are incredible. And thank you. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I want to talk about that for a minute. So Esther Hicks, she would speak about how she talks about wherever you go, you take yourself with you. So I'll say it again. Wherever you go, you take yourself with you. So some people think if I would just leave this job that, and I move into my new job, that suddenly everything will be great. But again, wherever you go, you take yourself with you. So she would recommend feeling good about the job that you're in now, even if it doesn't match everything. Start to feel as grateful or as happy as you can for what the position you're currently in. And that energy will attract to you something better. Instead of just jumping to another job in that same frequency and then just recreating what you just left a moment ago. For instance, when I was in my old job, there's some things that I didn't like about it. But I said, you know what? I'm going to feel grateful about it. At least I'm working, I'm earning money. And I just stayed in that gratitude vibration, that energy that everything is going good. And I would look for the good every day in it. It was a 45-minute commute to an hour commute each way every day. I used that time just to listen to sales. My income went through the roof and things went great for me. So shift things. I shifted the way I looked at things, and the things I looked at definitely changed. And now I'm in a much different position than I was a year ago. You're cute. What's up? Oh, hey, there's two people hooking up on here. That's nice. Hi, Phoenix. Sorry, good question. Hi, Tony. How do I feel the vibe of things I want but don't have yet? So I'll give you some tricks as to how to do this. The first one is you can talk about everything as if it happened 2 weeks ago. So let's say you want a promotion. Start to speak about it as if it happened 2 weeks ago. So you can say, man, I'm so glad I got that promotion. Working with my new coworkers is amazing. I have all this extra money. The job is a way better position. I have this great office. And by talking about it as if it took place in the past, I feel the feelings of having it now, and I put forth what it is I want. That's one. Two, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and just use your imagination. Start with something small. Ask yourself, Neville used to talk about this. He'd say, imagine you have a tennis ball in your hand. This develops the faculty of imagination. He said, imagine you have a tennis ball in your hand. What does it feel like? See if you can squeeze it, throw it in the air. Does it have weight to it? See if you can catch it. And then he'd say, okay, now put a baseball in your hand. Throw it in the air. What does it feel like? Then he said, now imagine you have a rose in your hand. What does that feel like? Can you smell it? Does it smell good? If you can do that, then you're starting to develop the faculty of imagination. And then from there, you can imagine what it is you want. So that's an easy way to do it, is start to practice with other things that you've had before. And then from there, that allows you to get into the feeling tone of what it is you want. That's 1 and 2. A third one is to go to places that have what it is you want. For instance, let's say, this is an abundance exercise that I recommend. Let's say you want to manifest money. For instance, I'll give you an example from my own life. I wanted to manifest some money a number of years ago. So I took myself to a really wealthy part of San Diego. In every area, for instance, New York has Manhattan, LA has Beverly Hills. In every city, there's an area that's really wealthy. So I took myself to Del Mar, to this really upscale lounge in Del Mar. And I just allowed myself to get into the feeling tone of what it would be like if I lived there. And just allowed myself to just feel the wealth. And as I was feeling that, I ran into a friend of mine that's pretty wealthy. And I was just feeling the vibrations. And I wrote out my life. I am wealthy. I wrote out how I wanted things to be. I am the number one salesperson in the country. I earn such and such income. I live in such and such city. And I listed it out. And then every day when I went home, and every day I would read what I wrote out, but I would feel the feelings of abundance I felt when I was in that wealthy area. And that put forth the vibration, and that caused me, I live in that area now. I achieved that income. I hit number one in sales. So I achieved everything that I wrote out through that exercise. And when I was there, I told myself, this is my life now. This is my life now. And that's my life now. I was living what it is that I was seeking to manifest. Now, is there anything else that I would recommend? Another thing you can do is, Esther Hicks has some great meditations on abundance. You can type in Abraham or Esther Hicks abundance meditation, and she just walks you through everything. So you don't even have to focus on it. She just gradually adjusts your vibration around money. Or there's different ones. There's one for health, one for abundance, one for general well-being, and one for relationships. And she just gradually adjusts you until you feel what it is you want. So, let me see. Is there anything else I could recommend? How do I feel the vibe of things I want but don't have yet? I think the main thing is just using your imagination to picture it. If you can picture it and then hold it for at least 30 seconds to a minute so that feeling tone will start to develop, then you'll get really good at this. It becomes easy. For instance, let's say you're kind of hungry. You might want to eat. You'll think of like, oh, it would be good if I ate like a salad. But the vibration is not really that strong. Then you start to close your eyes and picture the cream on the salad, and if you're having a Caesar salad and croutons on there, and it'll develop that feeling tone and how good it tastes. Then your desire will increase for a salad, and 2, your vibration around it will increase. So you really just get into the practice of using your imagination. A good book, by the way, on this, it's broken up into lessons, is The Master Key System by Charles Hanel. And he'll teach you how to calm your mind in the first lesson, how to calm your body in the first lesson, how to calm your mind in the second lesson. And then you practice using your imagination to picture different things and hold those images. And that way you can impress on your subconscious what it is you want. Your subconscious is one with the infinite power of the universe. You have infinite genius, infinite power, infinite good within it. So when you learn to hold the thought for 30 plus seconds, that idea goes from your conscious mind into your subconscious, and it'll manifest in your life. Let me know if I answered your questions. Thanks for the book recommendations. You're welcome. I have a number of books I could recommend. And so if you need anything, let me know. Does manifestation align with Christianity? It absolutely does. What is the Bible? The Bible is a book built on thought. What is faith? Faith is a thought. You're using your thought process to believe in something so that it'll manifest. So that there's no And by the way, some of my favorite speakers, such as Joel Goldsmith, is Christian. Same. So there's no difference. Neville Goddard was a Christian mystic. So people who tell you that they don't align don't know what they're talking about. The whole book is one big school of thought. According to your faith, so be it unto you. The teacher or coach will level you up. Okay, cool. And so, very good questions. So let me see. A bunch of questions came in. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I'm glad to be here. Do you think being too content and happy with the present keeps a person stagnant? No, I don't think so. I think you'll lead a really happy, healthy life. I think you spoke about this yesterday, actually, on your live. As you go through life, you're going to naturally encounter contrast. And that contrast is going to cause you to go. But by being content and happy with your life, you're going to see that contrast. You're going to feel good about what it is you want. And then you're going to grow towards it instead of getting wrapped up in the negativity. So I think it'll just be a smooth, easy scale as opposed to struggling back and forth, saying like, I don't want this, and then I do want this. I think it'll be nice and smooth and easy. So also, as you see that contrast, it causes an expansion within you. And by feeling good now, that which is in the future then will become now. So you just feel good, you feel good, you feel good, you feel good, and that comes to you. And then what you wanted that was once out there is now taking place for you now. So I think being content and happy is a great way to go through life. Damn, Tony stays in Del Mar by the horse racing track. Yeah, that's right. So La Jolla, Del Mar, Carlsbad, all these areas are nice. And then, sorry, I got a new job paying more, but the job is toxic. I will do exactly that, and for a job paying much more, but the new job is toxic. Yeah, you don't have to stay at the new job. Eventually, just focus on the good that's within it. For instance, I was at one job. It wasn't ideal. I knew I wasn't going to be there forever, so I said I'm going to make the most of it. And then I moved from that job, though, led me to another job that helped tremendously. That was great. And then I moved from there into better stuff. So if you don't see the crumbs, then what? Then adjust what it is you're manifesting. So if nothing comes up after 72 hours, try again one more time. If nothing comes up then adjust what you're manifesting. Either make it smaller, or work with somebody like a hypnotherapist to adjust your belief systems around what it is you want. Been to over 50 countries. That's awesome. Yes, after 72 hours, you should see the crumbs or the actual thing. If not, then either shift your vibration via meditation every day and affirmations, or shift what you're seeking to manifest, or shift your belief systems about it. So do 1, 2, or 3 and see, and one of those will cause a change within you. The homie Todd says, what's up? What's up, Todd? Good to see you on here. I'm still thinking about what Farah said. Do you think being content and happy with the present keeps a person stagnant? I don't think so. I think if you're happy, I think the universe wants to expand, and if you're happy and content, you're going to naturally expand. You'll naturally attract to you that which is going to want to make you grow and be better. That's a very good question. Because I know some people who are, I think they're pretty happy and content. I don't know. I'm not going to bring them up or go into them right now. Let's see. I'm just waiting for more questions to come in. I got 8 minutes and then I have to go. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. There is nothing that is off limits. Okay, cool. Tony needs to upload his famous videos. I haven't been uploading that much. I was on vacation and then I came back and I was just busy with life and stuff. So I'll start doing more. Okay. Oh, what's the 72-hour thing you're speaking of? This sounds so cool. So I got this from one of my teachers was a man named Hans de Jong. So there's Jose Silva, who invented the Silva method of meditation. Hans was Jose's top teacher. And he said, when you go to Alpha or Theta and you show yourself these images of what it is you want that you're seeking to manifest, he said, you've put forth an energy out into the universe and you've impressed this idea on your subconscious mind. That's me saying this. Now, he said, you should usually see some type of manifestation show up within 72 hours. He said, if you haven't, then either you didn't focus on it enough, the energy wasn't strong enough, or there's some belief system that's in the way, something getting in the way of it, or it's just not the right thing for you. So he said, but usually within 72 hours, you'll see So either that which you want, the answer to whatever it is that you want, or you'll see some type of breadcrumb leading you. For instance, this guy was focusing, one of Hans' students during the seminar was focusing on abundance for himself. And then he walked out to his car during the break, and underneath his tire was $5 or $10, and he picked it up, and he told Hans, he's like, hey, do you think this is a coincidence, or do you think I manifested this now that I'm focusing on abundance? And Hans told him, he's like, well, what do you think? He's like, have you ever found $5 underneath your tire? And the guy's like, no, never. So that was an example of a breadcrumb. He started putting out abundance, and abundance started coming to him. Another example. Here, this goes back to what I spoke about earlier. I spoke about how if you want to radically alter your life, start by radically altering your thoughts. That's a quote from Neville Goddard. One day I needed to manifest some money. I felt like I wasn't earning enough. I needed to manifest some money. So for, let's say, an hour and a half, 1 to 3 hours, I was just walking around telling myself, I'm rich, 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 I'm wealthy, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. Sounds nuts, but I needed to shift my thoughts, and I needed to create more money, create more abundance for myself. I needed to get that idea of wealth into my subconscious. So I was just hammering it in, saying it for over an hour, just walking around. That was the only thing I was thinking about. And then at a certain point, I got a call from my manager at the gym that I used to manage, and he's like, hey, Tony, I have these girls that they want personal training. I'm too busy. I want you to train them. And I was like, no, I don't know. I don't train people. By the way, sometimes you have to be aware the universe is trying to give you what it is you want, but it might come in a way that's different than what you expect. So you have to be open to it when it comes. And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't normally teach people. So there was a little bit of fear because I don't normally train people aside from guys who are getting ready for their fights. And my friend's like, no, you know what to do. I'm sure you'll be fine. Just help them out. So I said, okay, I'll do it. So that girl she calls me. We set up a time for her to come that night for me to train her. And she asked me if she could bring some of her friends. So right away from those new thoughts that I was thinking, it started a whole personal training business for me. Those girls brought other girls, and it grew and grew and grew. And when I went to work that day, a woman came in and she asked me, she's like, oh, do you train people, Tony? I was helping her son learn boxing. And I said, yeah, I do, since apparently that's what I did now. And she's like, I told her my rates, and she paid for a month's worth of personal training sessions right then. So those are examples of it just manifesting right away. So the crumb was my friend calling, and then the manifestation of it was this whole new business that emerged from that seed or crumb that I was given, so to speak. So try it out. Affirm something new. Tony, I'm going to buy you fish tacos in San Diego one day. Anytime you want. I'm down, Todd. So just let me know, and we can make that happen. So let me know if that all makes sense to you. So just follow the trail, so to speak. Now, sometimes, again, I mentioned this before, sometimes it'll come in a different form, and there's that terror barrier that you have to go through. You might be doing something new or have to put yourself out there in front of people. But when you go through that, then you achieve whatever it is that you want. Oh, I'm going to start keeping my eyes for the 72-hour breadcrumbs. Awesome. How do you fight resistance and procrastination? Develop like the do it now attitude. Write it in big letters. Like do it now, do it now, do it now. Anytime anything comes up, there's that saying, how you do one thing is how you do all things. So as soon as something comes up that needs to be done, whether it's small or large, stop putting it off. Tell yourself, I do it now, I do it now, I do it now, I do it now. As far as resistance, tell yourself, I'm using my willpower. Well, what is the resistance? Whatever it is, tell yourself it's positive opposite. So if you don't have the money to do something, tell yourself, I have the money, I have the funds, I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now, I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now. Develop that. One of my favorite affirmations is I'm using my willpower. You have within you so much power and strength. That affirmation, by the way, comes from, where did I put my book? This is one of my favorite books, Thought Vibration, The Law of Attraction in the Thought World by William Walker Atkinson. And he has a few amazing affirmations that he says you should say every day to yourself. But one of them is, I'm using my willpower. Do it now comes from W. Clement Stone. He was a billionaire by today's standards. The guy was incredibly wealthy. And he used to just tell himself all the time, do it now. Develop that do it now attitude. Stop putting things off in the future that you could be doing today. You could so radically shift your life and your thoughts in a day that it'll blow your mind if you stop putting things off and just start affirming new things and start taking action on what it is you want to accomplish. That, I mean, imagine if you don't, let's say you're somebody who doesn't work out, that's not working, and you suddenly start making yourself go to the gym, you start go get a new job, and you just start going to work. Your life will, I mean, obviously that'll just change your life overnight. So you can do a tremendous amount of stuff. You just need to start making yourself do it. So tell yourself, do it now. And also, I'm using my willpower. Those two will start developing that late, not developing, but it'll bring forth all that latent potential and power within you to the surface, and you'll start getting a tremendous amount of stuff done. Also, list out every night before you go to sleep what it is you have to do for the next day. And then as soon as you wake up, just get to work. Whatever the first one is, get it done, and then go to the second, third, fourth, fifth. And that way you'll at least have some type of plan, so to speak, so that you're not just waking up responding to whatever's going on in your day each day. So, all right, it's about 4:30. I'll take one more question if anybody has them. If you do not, then I'm gonna bid you all a farewell, and then I'll probably come on at some other point. If you don't follow me, by the way, please do. I talk about all this kind of stuff, pretty much every day on my channel, and I'm on YouTube as well. So, yes, thank you, Farah. I am an execution machine. You have to be. I learned this, by the way, as far as this do it now. I was going to make a video about this, by the way. I'm glad you said this, about develop a sense of urgency. When I used to teach guys dating, I used to teach dating seminars. And one thing that guys didn't have is they didn't have a sense of urgency. So a beautiful woman would walk by, and you have essentially like maybe 3 seconds from the time she walks in your life until she's out of your life forever if you don't talk to her. So I used to tell them, like, people would say things like, well, if it's meant to be, it'll be. And part of my language, but I would say, fuck that. Like, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. Develop that do it now attitude. You have 3 seconds until this amazing person comes in your life and is out of your life, and the only thing stopping you is you. So jump on it. And in like fashion, the only thing that's stopping you from achieving what it is you want in your life is you. So when that opportunity arises, take action on it so that you can make good things happen. Now, you don't have to be like neurotic like I am, but I want to develop, or I want you all to develop some type of sense of urgency, because you can get a tremendous amount done in a relatively short amount of time if you just start pushing yourself to take action. Thanks. So enlightening. You're welcome. Do you use a filter? Love your stuff. Whenever I go on live, it softens my face, and I feel like, man, it makes me look more handsome. So that's all I do. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. Yeah, I got that, by the way, from, damn it, what's that guy's name? I can't remember it off the top of my head. He used to have all these sayings like that. He was Tony Robbins' mentor, and the name eludes me at the moment, but he had a lot of great quotes like that. But tell yourself, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. Stop waiting for somebody else to come and save you. If you want to if you want someone to save you, let it be you. Just start shifting your thoughts, shift your actions, go for what it is you want, and you can transform your life. Thanks for the invite, advice, and information. You're much appreciated. Likewise. Yes, likewise, Farah, and thank you. I appreciate that. That puts a big smile on my face. All right, so thank you, everybody, Jim Rome. That's the guy's name. Yes, it was like on the tip of my tongue. So thank you, everybody, for listening. Go enjoy your day. Be great. And if you need anything, feel free to send me a message, and feel free to, follow me and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Whatever I talk about on TikTok, I usually put a longer video on YouTube, and I also upload it to my podcast as well. So have a great day, everyone.